Escalations in the race for Wisconsin governor after multiple lawsuits involving sexual and racial discrimination at gubernatorial candidate Tim Michaels' Wisconsin company. Plus, are you looking for a job? There's still time to check out a job fair at the Alliant Energy Center. And we're following the latest on migrants who were flown from the south to the northeast. A Texas sheriff is now opening an investigation. You're watching News 3 Now at 5. Hello, everybody. Eric is off tonight. Some stormy weather today. Take a look at this video. Hail hit a few neighborhoods across the Madison area today, and temperatures will be cooling down tomorrow as we near the first official day of fall. Gary Canalti is on the weather patio with more. Gary?
Well, Susan, looks like the severe thunderstorms, actually all the thunderstorms are pretty much out of southern Wisconsin, but there were some reports of hail, especially from Madison to the east and to the northeast. To the south, a couple of reports of hail across Rock County and even a 55-mile-per-hour wind gust down around Beloit. But you can see on high-resolution radar now the storms pretty much south of the Wisconsin-Illinois state line. A couple of lines of thunderstorms moving into parts of northern Illinois. You can see severe thunderstorm warnings there. And it looks like the Storm Prediction Center just put out a severe thunderstorm watch for the Chicago metro area. Right now, nothing to our north, but 6-hour future track radar shows some storms eventually developing and then heading southeastward. So it's possible areas north of Madison could see a shower or thunderstorm later tonight. That's because the air is still pretty humid. Dew point temperatures are around 70 degrees through much of southern Wisconsin. Air temperatures in areas that had rain like Janesville, they've cooled to 73 degrees, but out to the west where little or no rain fell, temperatures in the 90s over southwestern Wisconsin. Here in Madison, we're at 81 degrees, but temperatures range from 78 in Sun Prairie and Deerfield to 83 in the town of Perry. For this evening, I'm looking for dry weather. Skies will be clear to partly cloudy. Temperatures dropping only into the middle 70s, but again, there's a chance for a thunderstorm later on tonight. Then cooler weather arrives for the first day of fall. I'll have more on that in the forecast in a few minutes.
All right, Gary, thank you. We are continuing coverage tonight after learning a series of allegations spanning more than 2 decades occurred at a corporation co-owned by GOP gubernatorial candidate Tim Michaels. Our CBS sister station in Milwaukee discovered lawsuits alleging sexual assault, harassment, racial discrimination, and a hostile work environment. According to several court documents, all of the lawsuits have been settled, including some former employees signing non-disclosure agreements. Michaels released statements on Twitter earlier today saying, in part, "This is a coordinated attack by Governor Evers and his allies. These unproven allegations do not reflect the training and culture at Michaels Corporation." The Evers campaign released a political spot today focusing on the allegations and in a statement said, quote, "Sexual harassment and racial discrimination should never be tolerated, and voters deserve a straight answer from Tim Michaels about what went on under his leadership." So when people see that news, how closely do voters pay attention to it? Does it have the power to sway people who are currently undecided? With more on how these headlines could impact the election is political reporter Will Keneally. Will?
So as we sat down with UW La Crosse political science professor Anthony Tregoski, he says that there are 2 key things that may sway voters when they see these headlines, that the reporting deals with Michael's business record and the timing of when it came out.
So this is a really critical point in the campaign when people are forming their opinions of Tim Michaels.
Tregoski says that's because people are still making up their minds about Michaels, who's one of the last candidates to jump in the Republican primary.
It's a very different story with Tim Michaels because he suddenly burst onto the political scene rather unexpectedly. The question is, how well vetted is he? And is there lots of information that hasn't come out but could come out about him? I think at this point, people pretty much know what they think about Tony Evers.
Those still making up their minds on Michaels play a key role in Wisconsin elections.
New information could still have an impact, and it could matter among those marginal voters, those swing voters who make the difference in close elections here in Wisconsin.
And Tregoski says it's interesting that this targets Michaels' business record. Because Michaels is not an incumbent politician, his business record is largely what he's running on. For example, his policies are called blueprints on his website.
When business people run for political office, the dealings of their business become fair game in the campaign because the campaign is all about learning what this candidate is going to be like if they're elected.
That can be an asset. Michaels is an outsider in that regard, but if his business record is tainted and that's all that voters know about him, that could solidify negative perceptions. So if we take a look at the latest Marquette Law School poll, Michael's favorability numbers are 34% favors him, 39% do not favor him. Tragaski calls those numbers soft. They're movable. Compare that to Evers, whose positives and negatives are both in the 40s. So we'll see more on the polling and whether those negative numbers shore up.
Will, thank you. Whether you intend to vote early this fall or head to the polls on Election Day, there's something all of us must do first. Make sure you're registered. Mckenna Alexander joins us live outside the Dane County Clerk's office on this National Voter Registration Day. Mckenna?
Yeah, before you can cast a ballot in the November midterms, you first need to register to vote if you haven't already. Now, the first thing you need to do is go to myvote.wi.gov and search to see if you are already registered in the system.
Back out to 3.
To do so online, you'll need a valid, unexpired Wisconsin-issued ID, such as a driver's license or state ID card. If you don't have a current and valid ID, you can get one by downloading and completing the voter registration form. Then you just mail or deliver it to your municipal clerk along with proof of residence documents. If you don't know who your clerk is, you can find out on My Vote by searching your home address. You can also register at your polling location on Election Day. Just bring that same state-issued ID and proof of address. Now, Dane County's clerk says regardless of how you choose to register, you must be on file before you vote, which is one of the main ways the election remains secure.
You go up to the poll book and you're either in there already or you register to vote and show your ID, show where you live, and then you sign the poll book. And there has to be the same number of ballots in the ballot bin as signatures in that book. Sometimes I hear like, oh, it's been stuffed with ballots. Like that can't happen. That has never happened, and, at least in the last 50 years that I know of.
Now, there are several other processes in place by the county to make sure every ballot is safely accounted for. All details on that coming up later at 6.
We will see you at 6, Mckenna. Thank you. An Iowa County man convicted of beating his mother and dog to death was sentenced today. 22-year-old Sean Pickett will serve life in prison with the possibility of parole after 40 years. He was charged with 1 count of first-degree intentional homicide and 1 count of mistreatment of animals causing death in 2021. According to a criminal complaint, the Avoca man told investigators he was possessed, heard evil noises, and blacked out before the murder. It has been 2 years since Wisconsin's Speak Up, Speak Out law went into effect. Attorney General Josh Kaul spoke about the progress of the program during a visit to Sun Prairie East High School today. Created by the Wisconsin Department of Justice to promote school safety, the Speak Up, Speak Out Resource Center is a one-stop shop for school communities to bring up concerns, offering a threat reporting system and a critical incident response.
But it's critical that this office is able to continue doing the important work that it does to keep Wisconsinites safe. For that to happen, we need long-term funding for our Office of School Safety. And so in our biennial budget request, we are going to be asking the legislature to permanently fund the Office of School Safety.
Speak Up, Speak Out has aided 400 Wisconsin schools with at least 1 tip since the program began 2 years ago. Kaul is facing re-election this year. His challenger is Fond du Lac County District Attorney Eric Toney. Volunteers are starting efforts to ensure that all area children have a comfortable place to sleep. The Madison chapter of Sleep in Heavenly Peace held its very first bed build at Ashley Furniture today. Local volunteers joined the chapter to build 40 beds that will be sent to children in need.
It's really cool because we have a mixture of community volunteers as well as organizations. So friends, family, people that just heard about us, signed up, and then we have a few different organizations helping us today.
Since 2012, Sleep in Heavenly Peace has built and delivered more than 99,000 beds. There's still time to check out some job opportunities in the area. The Alliant Energy Center is hosting a job fair with nearly 100 employers this afternoon. Companies include Quick Trip, FedEx, Grace, UW-Madison, and many more.
Employers in our region are having a really hard time accessing talent, and so this is our way to help them get job seekers in front of them and convene the two.
Tonight's event only runs until 6 o'clock, and you can upload your resume ahead of time. For more details, look for this story on channel3000.com. A Texas sheriff now says he thinks laws were broken, and he is opening an investigation into the Martha's Vineyard flight arranged by Florida Governor Ron DeSantis. The governor says he did nothing wrong, but more migrants are saying they were misled. Mike Valerio has the latest.
The outrage from Bexar County Sheriff Javier Salazar was clear as he announced his investigation into the Martha's Vineyard migrants flight.
I believe that they were preyed upon. Somebody came from out of state, preyed upon these people, lured them with promises of a better life, which is what they were absolutely looking for.
A Venezuelan man at a migrant resource center in San Antonio said he was approached to help fill a flight out of Texas, offered a deal for free food and a free hotel, a deal he thought that was too good to be true. Stop doing it, the man said. If you're going to help people, do it out of your heart. Don't utilize us immigrants. We don't want to be used as toys in your political games. Florida Governor Ron DeSantis defended his actions.
They were hungry, homeless. They had no opportunity at all. The state of Florida, it was volunteer, offered transport to sanctuary jurisdictions.
It all comes as the U.S. has intercepted more than 2 million migrants along the southern border, driven by influxes of people from Nicaragua, Venezuela, and Cuba. Texas says it's bused more than 11,000 migrants to Washington, D.C., Chicago, and New York.
We opened up 23 emergency shelters. We're not going to leave any stone unturned.
At least 9 buses reached New York City this weekend, carrying more than 1,000 asylum seekers. The city is now considering temporary housing for migrants aboard cruise ships, as migrants are found permanent housing and jobs. I'm Mike Valerio reporting.
The special master appointed to review documents seized from former President Trump's Florida home last month held his first conference with lawyers from both sides today. During that 45-minute-long hearing, Judge Raymond Dearie told both sides he, quote, follows orders and does what he's told. Ahead of the conference, Trump's team filed a motion pushing back on the special master's request for information, details regarding his claim that he had declassified seized materials. They say doing so could harm their defense if the former president is indicted.
I think it's reasonable to assume that he has to give the information necessary. If he's unwilling to do it, then I would think that the judge would simply say, okay, for now, we're going to assume that the documents that say they're classified are classified.
The court order selecting Dearie gives him until November 30th to review more than 11,000 records and determine if any of the materials are protected by attorney-client or executive privilege. Well, Gary has our latest forecast coming up next at 5. Plus, FEMA is working to help residents of Puerto Rico impacted by Hurricane Fiona as cleanup efforts continue after massive flooding. And later, did you go to the Packers game on Sunday? You might want to check your bank account. We'll tell you why coming up tonight at 6. The Federal Reserve is eyeing another historic rate hike tomorrow, and that news sent stocks lower. The Dow Industrials fell 313 points. The Nasdaq was off 109. The S&P 500 closed down 43. We'll be right back.
Some ideas seem good, but aren't.
Maybe these guys will buy our house.
What could go wrong?
Like rookie home buyers who can lower or cancel offers without notice. We Buy Ugly Houses won't reduce or cancel our firm cash offers before closing. Call or click to sell quick.
It's dangerous up here, and it's no fun shopping around for a reputable contractor. I've built my company on the promise to treat our customers like we would our own family. That means an honest, no-pressure sales experience, expert craftsmanship, and a lifetime guarantee of our work. We know Gutter Shutter is the best system for you and your home, and we'd love to show you how it can keep you safe and off that ladder forever. So call us or visit us online to set up your free estimate, and we can show you what Gutter Shutter and the Larson Home Experience is all about.
it changes your entire world. I know because I was a victim myself. So to think there are people like Senator Ron Johnson in Washington who'd make it harder. Ron Johnson supported the Supreme Court's decision outlawing abortion in Wisconsin, even for victims of rape and incest, allowing doctors and nurses to be prosecuted. When I think about other victims and what they're going to have to go through because of Ron Johnson, he doesn't share our values. S&P is responsible for the content of this ad.
I'm gonna get you! Stop chasing your sister!
Making things better is kind of your thing.
There you go, good.
But when Medicare has you stumped, it's hard to know how to make it better.
Maybe I can help.
Security Health Plan. Everything you need from a Medicare plan. Everything you expect from a good neighbor.
Welcome. We're so glad you're here. Looking for one of our most capable Ford SUVs? Okay, great. We've got you covered. Spacious interiors, innovative tech, good looks, and a legendary off-road experience. Check out our inventory today, or let us help you place a custom order. Getting into the perfect Ford SUV? Well, it's easier than ever. Yeah, we've got you covered. Now choose FlexBuy on a 2022 Ford Escape, Edge, or Explorer and get 0% financing for 66 months.
Some ideas seem good, but aren't.
Maybe she could sell her house.
What could go wrong?
Like listing your house, then dealing with all the trouble, expense, not to mention closing costs. We Buy Ugly Houses can buy your house fast for all cash as is with no hassle. Call or click to sell quick.
Coming up at 6, we honor National Voter Registration Day by sharing everything you need to know about your ballot. News 3 Now dives into all the rule changes and the security for election integrity tonight at 6.
News 3 Now Sports brings you the Badger Blueprint. Join us every week for an exclusive look at Wisconsin football. From the practice field to the locker room to game day previews and highlights. Badger Blueprint, Wednesdays only on News 3 Now at 10.
You're watching News 3 Now at 5.
Hurricane Fiona strengthened overnight to a Category 3 hurricane, taking aim at the Turks and Caicos. The powerful storm ravaged Puerto Rico, dumping several inches of rain, which triggered mudslides and flooding. Chris Wynn has more as the cleanup continues.
Hurricane Fiona leaving a path of destruction and threatening even more deadly flooding as it grows to a Category 3 storm.
It has been catastrophic rain that just won't stop.
The storm slamming Turks and Caicos on Tuesday after already cutting power for over 1 million customers in Puerto Rico. Damage on this scale not seen in the U.S. territory since Hurricane Maria made landfall 5 years ago. Some who lived through that say Fiona's flooding destruction could be even more severe.
It's been rough. We've been just working to get back this neighborhood, get it back from Maria, that everything was destroyed. Restaurants, houses, everything was destroyed.
Officials in Puerto Rico hope to restore power in a matter of days to the majority of residents, but rescue efforts continue to be impacted across the island. Schools are also being inspected to ensure they're in working condition for students to return to class in the days ahead. The National Hurricane Center says parts of the territory could see more than 30 inches of rain by the end of the storm.
The first responders, the local responders, the responders of the government of Puerto Rico are not able to get out and help those that need it or assess the damage.
The hurricane also leaving more than 1 million people without running water in the Dominican Republic. Government officials there say first responders brought nearly 800 people to safety. I'm Chris Wynn reporting.
Let's get a look at our weather now. Chief Meteorologist Gary Canalti has the latest on some storms that passed through the area this afternoon.
Yeah, and they're pretty much south of the Wisconsin-Illinois state line. Notice southern Wisconsin free of precipitation now. The severe weather that we had earlier that developed around Madison has swept to the south and east. Still some severe thunderstorm warnings over parts of northeastern Illinois. In fact, the Storm Prediction Center has put out a small severe thunderstorm watch for the Chicago metro area until 8 p.m. for the line of storms that came through here. Hail and wind, probably the main threats there. 6-hour future track radar shows the potential for another little line of storms to develop to our north and west. This is actually along the cold front, but temperatures will be a little cooler overnight, so the storms are not expected to be as strong or as widespread, and probably will mainly affect areas north of Madison overnight if they do at all. Some of those storms may weaken as they push into our viewing area. 3 things you need to know in our forecast. Look for cooler weather to arrive. High temperatures by Thursday and Friday will be only around 60 degrees after highs in the lower 70s tomorrow. Back to the lower 70s, some mild weather for Saturday and lots of sunshine, and then dry weather expected from Monday through Friday of next week. Sunday there might be a slight chance for a shower, but chances are high that much of Sunday should be dry as well. Hurricane Fiona, now a powerful Category 3 hurricane. Maximum sustained winds 115 miles per hour, gusts to 140 miles per hour, moving north-northwesterly at 8 miles per hour. Latest forecast from the National Hurricane Center veers it to the north but strengthens it to a Category 4 hurricane with maximum sustained winds of 140 miles per hour. There's Bermuda right there. It'll pass to the north and west of there, and then as it heads rapidly northeastward into the northern Atlantic Ocean, look at the strength of the storm. Winds of 120 miles per hour as it heads into areas east of New York, and then as it gets into just south of Newfoundland and over toward Prince Edward Island, maximum sustained winds 100 miles per hour. And then the storm races northward, becomes what we call extratropical. It gathers some cold air into it, so you can see the precipitation on the western edge changing over to snow, and winds still almost hurricane force as it pushes north into the Arctic Ocean. So that is just an incredible storm system, the strength that it'll maintain as it heads northward. Around here, look for a slight chance for a shower or thunderstorm overnight, mainly north of Madison. 66 for the low in Madison, 69 in DeForest, 71 in Oregon, and then across the rest of southern Wisconsin. Again, the better chances for a shower or storm will be north of Madison, 65 for the low in Baraboo, but only down to 70 in Platteville. Tomorrow, look for skies to be variably cloudy. It'll be breezy and cooler, also less humid with a high temperature of 72 degrees, but right now it looks like it'll be dry. 7 to 10 day forecast, 60 for a high on Thursday, 59 on Friday. Again, a slight chance for a late afternoon or early evening shower on Friday. Saturday will be dry and sunny with a little warmer weather. By Sunday, back down to 65, a slight chance for a shower, and then dry weather Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday of next week. The high temperatures lower 60s to around 70 by the end of the week. In first warn traffic, here's the live view of the DOT camera at the Beltline and Fish Hatchery Road. Just a little bit of a slowdown earlier around Fish Hatchery Road on the westbound side. It looks like that has cleared up a little bit. As far as travel times are concerned, about the normal 15 to 16-minute drive either way on the Beltline between University Avenue and I-3990. Heading out of Madison, 24 minutes from the Beltline to Janesville on I-3990. Middleton to Sauk City on US 12 is a 16-minute trip, and downtown to Sun Prairie on East Washington Avenue and US 151 will take you 20 minutes. That's your News 3 Now First Warn traffic.
All right, Gary, thank you. Travel demand was so high this summer, the supply couldn't keep up, and that resulted in flight cancellations and delays around the world. Will that trend continue into the fall? Luxury travel network Virtuoso expects more of the same as airlines staff up to meet demand. Company officials suggest planning earlier, at least 6 months in advance if you can, especially around the holidays. Right now, America's most visited cities are benefiting from the travel boom.
Domestic tourists, it's back to those levels already. Groups right now are at about 90% of the pre-pandemic levels, and international tourists are maybe at 90%.
One trend that's expected to persist, longer trips as more tourists pair remote work with travel. Experts also say travel prices that have risen because of inflation and increased demand aren't expected to come down anytime soon. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
Vitense Golfland offers 2 golf and multi-sport simulator suites. Play great golf courses with unmatched viewing clarity. Play different sports such as football and soccer. Have fun with Zombie Ball. Vitense Golfland provides simulator fun for everyone.
There's no other place where my story is possible. My mom was a teacher. My dad worked third shift. It was our ticket to the middle class. That's the promise of America I'll fight to protect. While others send our jobs overseas, I'll bring manufacturing back, invest in our own workers, and stock our shelves with American products. And with a middle class tax cut, you'll be able to keep more of what you earn. I know the promise of America, and no one will fight harder to protect it. I'm Mandela Barnes, and I approve this message.
Make this year the Halloween of your screams. Get scary savings with 11% off all Halloween. Now at Menards.
Hypnotize your way to savings.
Breathing techniques to help you save.
Looking to make saving a habit?
Yeah, what's the secret?
No secret. Just open a savings account at BMO and we'll give you a cash reward for every month you save.
A cash reward? Just for saving?
Mm-hmm. And when you open a checking account, we'll give you a $300 bonus to get your new savings habit started.
Love that.
What's your book? How to get a $300 bonus and a monthly cash reward for saving with BMO.
He literally wrote the book on saving.
That's me on the cover.
When a bank helps you make real financial progress, that's the BMO effect.
First, we found out that radical Tim Michael supports Wisconsin's 1849 abortion ban.
But you wouldn't support exceptions for rape or incest?
That's correct. Now we found out his foundation funds a group working to outlaw birth control and ban abortion, even to save the life of the mother. And his family foundation funds a group that uses cell phone data to track women if they go to abortion centers. Vote no on radical Tim Michaels.
Remember this? Forecasts are predicting an unreasonably cold and snowy winter. Now's the time to winter-proof your home with USA Insulation. 35% more efficient than traditional insulation. Our foam in your walls keeps the cold air out and your warm air in. It's like putting a coat around your entire home. Call now before winter and get a $500 early bird discount.
USA Insulation.
Vitense Golfland offers 2 golf and multi-sport simulator suites. Play great golf courses with unmatched viewing clarity. Play different sports, such as football and soccer. Have fun with Zombie Ball. Vitense Golfland provides simulator fun for everyone.
You're watching News 3 Now at 5.
Well, here's a question for you. Are you a night owl or an early bird? New research suggests if you're in the habit of staying up late, it could be bad for your health. Rutgers University researchers say people who stay up late and then wake up late could have a higher risk of type 2 diabetes and cardiovascular disease. Researchers found night owls had less ability to use fat for energy, meaning that fats may build up in the body, increasing diabetes and cardiovascular risk. The study also found early birds are more physically active and have better fitness levels than night owls who were less active during the day. Final check of your first warn forecast when we come back.
Gear Up for Fall is now on at Sloan Implement. Get your John Deere S200 series with 4.9% for 60 months or John Deere X3s, 5s, and 7s with 1.9% for 48 months.
Power up with Sloan's.
How will you mow? Find out today at Sloan's.
Have you ever experienced this view? Hi, Andrew Larson here. With Gutter Shutter, you'll never have to experience it again. Please give up this dangerous chore and protect your home's foundation with Gutter Shutter, the strongest, most durable, maintenance-free gutter on the market. Over the past 15 years, my team has installed thousands of maintenance-free gutter systems across South Central Wisconsin. We'd love to come out and show you what Gutter Shutter can do for you and your home, but most importantly, keep you safe and off that ladder. So call today for a free estimate.
Chevy Silverado. It's got the power you want and the capability you need to do the job so you can get to the important work. Find new moments, find new roads. Get a $500 cash allowance on all 2022 Silverado pickups with a 2.7-liter turbo engine. Plus, now during truck season, get a $1,000 accessory allowance toward a new Chevy truck with accessories. Find new roads at your local Chevy dealer.
Joe Biden on Medicare for All.
It's going to raise taxes on middle-class people.
Medicare for All would double your income taxes, ban employer-provided and union health plans, and bankrupt Medicare for seniors. Mandela Barnes still supports Bernie Sanders' socialist takeover of your health care.
Medicare for All is the easiest way to get us to universal health care.
Mandela Barnes, more liberal than Joe Biden, way too liberal for Wisconsin.
I'm Ron Johnson, and I approve this message.
Choosing a treatment for your chronic migraine, 15 or more headache days a month, each lasting 4 hours or more, can be overwhelming. So ask your doctor about Botox. Botox prevents headaches in adults with chronic migraine before they even start. It's the #1 prescribed branded chronic migraine treatment. So far, more than 5 million Botox treatments have been given to over 850,000 chronic migraine patients.
Effects of Botox may spread hours to weeks after injection, causing serious symptoms. Alert your doctor right away, as difficulty swallowing, speaking, breathing, eye problems, or muscle weakness can be signs of a life-threatening condition. Side effects may include allergic reactions, neck and injection site pain, fatigue, and headache. Don't receive Botox if there's a skin infection. Tell your doctor your medical history, muscle or nerve conditions and medications, including botulinum toxins, as these may increase the risk of serious side effects.
In a survey, 92% of current users said they wish they talked to their doctor and started Botox sooner. So ask your doctor if Botox is right for you. Learn how AbbVie could help you save on Botox.
Gear Up for Fall is now on at Sloan Implement. Get your John Deere Z300 or 500 series with 4.9% for 60 months or 3.9% for 60 months on commercial Z900s.
Power up with Sloan's.
How will you mow? Find out today at Sloan's.
Looks like most of the thunderstorm activity has moved out of southern Wisconsin, is down into the Chicago area. Nothing upstream right now, but future radar shows the potential for at least a couple of showers and thunderstorms, probably after midnight, well north of Madison. So we'll keep an eye out for that, but most areas will stay dry overnight.
All right, good news. Thank you, Gary. The CBS Evening News is coming up next. Hope to see you back here at 6.